Turn left.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Green Gecko here. I am playing Euro Truck Simulator 2. I normally do Football Manager videos, but I have recently become absolutely addicted to this game, so I decided I'm going to make a video or two about it. This one I'm going to be driving from Oslo to Bergen to pick up some medical vaccines. Ooh, almost hit you. And drive them down to somewhere in France. I think it might be Paris. Now, if you haven't played this game before, I would highly suggest you take a look at it. It is a fantastically addictive game. Hold on, let's just see. Try to make sure we don't hit any cars on our way here. Highly likely that we still will. Yeah, see that guy. Yeah, it's a fantastically addictive game. Basically, the premise is that you just drive around with freight, and you deliver it to different places in Europe. But for a game from I think 2012, this has fantastic graphics. It does represent a lot of real life highways fairly accurate. It definitely represents the ridiculous price of gas in Europe. And yeah, you get to see a lot of really nice scenery. Right now it is raining. We are in Oslo, as I mentioned, Oslo, Norway. And we are going to be driving to the west coast of Norway, Bergen. It's a nice cop car going past. And this drive, I have done it before. It's one of the nicer drives in the game. It's beautiful scenery. Now it's raining at the moment. I have to hope that that's going to change in the course of our trip, so that you'll be able to see a little bit of the scenery as we drive. Otherwise, in the game, there's not a lot that happens. You just enjoy the drive. I don't understand why it's so addictive, but it is very addictive. Stick around, watch the drive. We're going to chat it up about different topics that have maybe a bit to do with the truck driving and maybe not so much to do with truck driving, but keep me company, and I think you may see why this game is addictive, even though it's very difficult to explain. I am driving a Mercedes-Benz truck, as you may be able to see, and on the back side, if you look through my mirrors, hold on, I gotta concentrate just a little bit here. If you look at my mirrors, you can see I kind of have a trailer on there, and that trailer is a refrigerated trailer. I've found that refrigerated trailers, oh lord, almost got hit there. It's very difficult to pay attention to the cross traffic here, but we do what we can.
Turn right.
Anyhow, I've found that refrigerated trailers are probably the best trailers for making money in this game. So basically, you can transport all sorts of goods, whether they be transporting like a tractor or a bunch of timber, or refrigerated goods like cheese or any other produce products. One of those refrigerated goods, come on buddy, you want to let me through? Okay, thank you. This is I do not recommend driving trucks like this in real life. I've never driven a truck in real life, and then I have to admit, but I don't recommend driving the way I'm driving because it's definitely dangerous. However, as I was saying, the refrigerated materials that you can transport, one of them are medical vaccines. And that's what we're going to pick up in Bergen. We're going to drive then from Bergen to the port in Bergen and take a ferry to Denmark. And then through Denmark, oh boy, I may have been a little bit too enthusiastic there. Through Denmark to Germany, and Germany to France. I'm going to pay my tolls, 19 euros, and we are on our way. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen there's a little GPS, or a sat-nav, I think they call it in England. Can you please not do that? I'm going to hit you. Yep. I tried to stop, but I couldn't. However, we got a little damage to our truck there, which we're going to have to repair. And that guy, I think we damaged his car more than he damaged us. However, that we can fix later on. It wasn't total damage, so, you know, we can fix it on. There's a lot of tunnels here in Norway. I guess that's because there's a lot of mountains. Hopefully the rain will stop and we'll be able to see a little bit of a view. But in the eastern part of Norway where we are right now, I was going to say there's not that much to see. It's nice, but it's not spectacular. I have driven this route in real life before. I haven't driven it myself, but I've sat in a car with people who have driven it, and so I know that there is some not only similarities, quite realistic similarities to the actual route. I mean, for a video game. That's what's particularly fun about this game. Now, as I was mentioning before, you can see there's a sat nav or a GPS on the lower right-hand corner of the screen. And that tells us a whole bunch of things. It tells us our current speed and what the speed limit is, that 80 kilometers an hour. It tells us that the speed limit is 80 kilometers here. 69 approximately kilometers an hour, that changes back and forth there, is my current speed limit. Just give us 1 second to get on the highway safely here. That was not too safe. I may be a little bit too enthusiastic here. Yeah, so you can see next to the our speedometer what gear we're in, and then next to that even we have the condition of our truck, which is this little bit red, which means to say that we have a little bit of damage done to the truck. Yeah, I've noticed when it's raining like this, it gets a little bit slippery. We're going to go through this auto lane here. It's the same price as far as I understand. Alright, 14 euros. Nobody behind us. Let's keep it going. Yeah, and then next to the truck icon, you see the fuel. And it's almost filled up. That yellow bar tells us that we're almost filled up with fuel, so we don't really need to do all that much. And then next to that, we've got a little person sleeping. That's our rest gauge. That tells us that we're more or less rested. When it starts getting all the way blue, that means it's time to find a place to stop and rest. Yes, you have to rest in this game. And when it is completely red, that means we are in urgent need of rest. If you don't rest for a while after it starts turning red, then you start dozing off. And if you start dozing off, well, that's not a good thing. Okay, roundabout, and I'm going too fast. Going down to Drummond. Alright. And then next to that, we've got an email thing. I never get any emails. I'm a pretty quiet person. Thankfully, the rain is letting up now. Through this tunnel, we might be done with the rain, hopefully. Right, and then there's different things the sat-nav will tell you. Come on, look at that. There we go. We can drop this.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
These window wipers. Second exit.
Exit now.
Towards Drummond. Here we go. You might hear a little bit of scratching noise, and that is because I am using a Logitech steering wheel and pedals for this game. I didn't have these until up till about a day or two ago, which I urgently felt the need to buy some steering wheels and some pedals, because I wanted to experience this game in a different way, and I think it's well worth it. I've enjoyed it. I was using an Xbox 360 controller before, and that does work. It's much better than the keyboard controls. However, it's not perfect, and the steering wheel gives it an extra kind of boost. As I said, the mirrors don't help you too much in this game, and you kind of have to look around, which you can do. But whoa, you got to keep track of what's going on in front of you. We're gonna look around though, anyhow. I guess this is Drammen, and we're gonna be making it's an industrial area. There's a river or fjord or whatever you'd like to call it here. We're going to be making a turnaround here cutting into the central part of Norway and then across to the west coast.
Stay right, and then
We are
exit
still
right.
on the eastish, I suppose. Here we go, towards Bergen.
Exit right.
Oh boy, that's a tight corner. So yeah, I am very happy that I am driving this route in a simulator, because as I understand it, I can probably take that off. As I understand it, driving this route with a Norwegian driver's license would cost you
At the
a
roundabout, take
lot
the
of
first
money.
Exit.
Getting a driver's license in Norway.
Exit down.
Oop, that was a bit heavy-handed on the brake. Getting a driver's license in Norway costs, wait for it, about 2,500 or more than 2,500 American dollars. I guess it's approximately about 2,500 euros as well, give or take. That is an exorbitant amount of money for a driver's license. If you are from, well, I was going to say from North America, but in reality, I think if you're from pretty much anywhere else, it's very expensive in Norway to get a driver's license. So I will stick to the truck driving simulator. Thank you very much. It's almost about the same experience anyhow. And in Corona times, we're not traveling a lot anyhow. But yeah, look, this is a forested area. It's quite attractive. Nobody on the roads. It is now 7:30 in the morning on a Friday, and I am driving pretty slowly. The best thing about
Go
this
straight.
route, though, is that it's really fun. There's a lot of turns, and the speed limit. Oh, I gotta watch that. The speed limit in Norway, even through the mountains, is crazy high. Where are we now? Doesn't say. It's crazy high. It's like 80 kilometers an hour. There's a lot of cops. It's like 80 kilometers an hour, even though you're doing breakneck speed, or even though you've got all these twists and turns. So you're going at breakneck speed throughout the mountains. And I've been on the west coast of Norway, lots of mountains. Small roads, one-lane roads, and very many of them, when I say one-lane road, I don't mean, one lane for the left and then one lane for the right. I mean, is a single lane, and oncoming traffic has to move to one side in order to let you go by, or the other way around. And when you have high speeds for that, it really gets quite hairy. But it's fun if you trust the driver you're with, or if you're driving yourself and you trust yourself. They have barriers, and you'll see this later on when you get closer to the west coast. They have a lot of barriers around the mountain passes, so that you don't drive yourself right off the cliff and into a fjord, which is not a good idea. But it also it also doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't help your confidence. It is pretty high if you're not used to driving on those roads. It can be a bit nerve-wracking, but it's fun, and it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. Whether or not you drive a truck there, a car there, you fly there, you take a train there, everybody should experience the west coast of Norway, perhaps northern Norway, at some point in their life, because it's an absolutely spectacular experience. All right. It is really something else. The way the mountains just jut into the water, into the fjords. It's few things can compare to it. There's always a train coming. The times I've driven this route, there's always a train coming. It's got to be programmed hard programmed into to make the train come exactly when you're driving this direction. Yeah, we're starting to see some mountains now. Let's take a look. Woo! Oh boy. I'm a little bit nervous about doing this because, yeah, see? Now we're getting some turns. And at 80 kilometers an hour with oncoming traffic, it starts to feel more like a racing game than a truck driving simulator. There is apparently a mod for this game that includes a few more towns in Norway, cities as well, but one of them way up north where you can get a crazy delivery on a dirt road that has really high speed limits as well, but it's also very high elevation and a very high what do you call that? Not a gauge, but it's very steep. So in a truck, it's particularly difficult because it does, you've got a lot of weight with you. It's not like a racing simulation where you can have like a rally car that's maybe kind of light and has the correct tires for dirt. I guess rally cars aren't that light, but they do have the correct tires for dirt at least. This, you can't get up those mountains, you know. Now I'm driving without cargo. As I mentioned before, I am going to pick up some cargo in Bergen. So that means to say that that my weight at the moment is fairly light, and that I can feel in the way I drive, or the way the steering wheel feels at the moment. And yeah, it's much easier. Doing the same thing on the flip side and coming from the west coast to the east coast with cargo feels a little bit heavier. And you got to be a bit more careful on these roads. Now I can be a bit more reckless and enjoy myself. Yeah, here we go. There is a crazy turn on the roads here. I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit. Yeah, here. Look at the turns already. Yeah, you can see it coming up if you look at the sat nav on the bottom right hand side. Boy, this is crazy dangerous. If there's oncoming traffic, I'm definitely gonna hit it. Maybe I should slow down a little bit. I really want to overtake these trucks completely recklessly. No, but there's a truck coming. But I'll keep the speed up a little bit. I'll try at least. And when we hit that, if you look at the sat nav, there's an upcoming kind of straight road path. And when we hit that, if there's nothing coming, I am going to overtake. Oh, there's a police officer. Okay, overtake. Quick. Nope, this wasn't a straight one. We gotta wait. You gotta wait. I thought we were on the straight and narrow path, but we are not. Yeah, as I mentioned, there's a lot of people on YouTube or Twitch that make videos about this, and they're all fun to watch. They're varying degrees of realism, based on what they do. However, this is crazy. I am reckless, and I would not recommend anyone driving the way I drive. This is see what I'm doing right now. Do not ever do this in real life. This is very not only illegal but very dangerous. And now a car comes. Sweet, just made it.
Turn left.
Okay, we gotta calm down here. We're turning left. Good. Back on the road. I gotta take a little sip of water here. Very nice. Yeah, I guess we got a pretty straight road here, so we can take a look a little bit at the scenery. Make sure we're more or less. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, we're going too slow. How about the other side? Crossing a bridge here. I was going to say, this is exactly what it looks like in Norway. It's not exactly what it looks like. I mean, actual Norwegian nature is slightly less pixelated. It's more like real nature if you have clean glasses on. If you have really dirty glasses, it may look somewhat similar to this. Okay. We're moving along here. This is that crazy turn. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be going 90 kilometers an hour. Yeah, here we go. I'll pump the brakes a little bit here. Yeah, I feel a lot more like I'm playing Gran Turismo than I am playing Euro Truck Simulator 2. I have not played the first version of this game. But as I said, the second version of Euro Truck Simulator 2 has been out since 2012, I think. And they've done updates to it, but as I understand it, the graphics are similar to what they were in the beginning, at least pretty close, and that's quite impressive for this for this game. But I also have a very bad memory. I can't remember how things looked video game wise in 2012. All right, I think we're finally getting the end of this crazy ass turnaround. As you can see, we're 3.5 hours and 215 kilometers away from Bergen at the moment. And yeah, it's been a nice trip so far, but I think we're really getting some nature. Yeah, here we go. I have to get out of this tunnel. Check it out. Oh, wow. I mean, that's some nice mountain scenes. So far in this game, I have been to other mountainous areas like the Austrian Tyrolean Alps. I haven't been to Switzerland yet, but northern Italy as well. France, I don't have the French expansion map. And I think you can get down to Dijon, but I don't think Dijon really is a very mountainous area, is it? But yeah, nothing really compares to the mountains in Norway. Oh boy. Yeah. They look really good, and they're fun to drive in. They're really fun to drive in. If I continue to do streams like this with the oh, we got some road work coming up. Got to slow down. With Euro Truck Simulator 2, I think I'm gonna do some kind of giveaways and just talk a little bit in the background. Listen to that jackhammer going there. Alright, so we're just going to have to sit here and wait. I played this game so much yesterday that I got foot cramps when I was going to bed. I need to be eating bananas. It was the first time I ever got injured playing a video game. Oh yeah, as I mentioned, I have pedals. I have truck pedals below me, so that's the reason I got foot cramps. It wasn't just for no reason whatsoever. Come on, light. I appreciate the realism of having to wait at lights, but it's a little bit annoying. I used to own a car for 5 years, and I drove daily with it. I really enjoyed driving, and then I moved to a city where it was unnecessary for me to have the car. Oh boy, look at this. Yeah, that does not look good. Well, gladly it didn't happen in the tunnel, because that would have been worse. Fires in tunnels are very scary. They're very dangerous. Difficult to get to for emergency workers, and extra deadly for anybody involved. Anyhow, I used to have a car, and I moved to a city. I didn't really use it. Public transportation was enough. And I really, really missed driving. Now, I've driven when I've been on vacations, places, or rented cars, but I haven't driven regularly. And I know this sounds crazy, but just driving a truck, a fake truck in a video game, is therapeutic and enjoyable. I have what can be a stressful job in real life, and it helps just to kind of look at the scenery and move the steering wheel around and just feel like you're actually driving. Oh boy. Ooh, just made it. Okay, now we're down to 60. Ooh. Right. And so now in this tunnel there's a whole bunch of roundabouts.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
I don't. As I said, I here? No, next one. Oh boy. Oh, that was too.
Exit now.
Okay, here we go. I don't remember if this is the way things actually are when you approach Bergen. If there's like a whole bunch of roundabouts in the tunnels. But I know there's a lot of tunnels. Oh, that was the only one. No, there's definitely another one coming up pretty soon. Almost certain of it. Wow, we're gonna have to look at some scenery here. Yeah, that's nice. Whoop. Yeah, it's real nice. Car, mountain. Yeah, it's nice. I'm coming up to another tunnel here. Oh boy, and we're going way too fast. There is cruise control in this game.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Okay, second exit. There is cruise control in this game. When you're driving on the swings and turns of Norwegian highways, it's pretty much useless. Because you've got to keep your foot ready at all times, and you might need to make small adjustments to your speed that don't work that fantastically with cruise control. You could use it, but it's probably more fun and more useful just to put the pedal to the metal sometimes, and then put the brake to the metal sometimes. Okay, coming up to Toll Plaza. I do not want to talk to the toll people. Slight speed bump. Oh, there we go. Auto pass. Here we go. 93 euros. Boy, it is expensive. It's not as bad as it is in... This is one toll plaza, I think, going from Copenhagen to Malmö in Sweden. Going over that bridge. I think that's like 213 euros. It's super expensive. Not in real life. I'm pretty sure you don't pay 213 euros every time. But every time I'm in that area, I seem to pay about 200 and something odd euros. Okay, let's do some cruise control now. Ooh, hello tourists.
Go straight.
I have not seen any sheep. And I feel that makes this slightly less realistic. Got some sheep up here? No, because there should be sheep. Another story about driving on the west coast of Norway. There was a point at which we were driving on I would say it's a semi-country road. No, a country road is the wrong description of it. It was a highway road, but it was a small highway road, something similar to this that we're driving on now. And the asphalt was newly laid. It must have been in the last month or something like that. It was very black. The weather at the time was getting a little sunny in the morning, but it was still cold out. However, we're driving through these mountains, and suddenly there was a complete stop in all traffic. No way to get past on either side. So we get out of the car and we look ahead of us, and the issue is that there were some cows. There was some cows who decided this nice black asphalt is absorbing the heat of the sun, and we are just going to lay our asses down here and enjoy the nice warmth of the asphalt. Now, I am not an expert, but cows are difficult to move. You can't lift them. You can kind of try to shoo them, but these cows were pretty stubborn. They did not want to move. Luckily, they didn't have any calves with them, but they did not want to move. I think we sat there for about an hour and a half before somebody from another car managed to run up to him and scare him off enough that they left the road and the traffic could continue on. But there was a line of cars. So, yeah, watch out for those heat-seeking cows on the west coast of Norway. All right, we're getting close to Bergen. We're 32 minutes away. And you can see these cabins out here amongst the wilderness. It's very nice. All of a sudden, in this game, you just kind of, bam, show up in Bergen right from a tunnel. And then you end up getting hit with a speeding fine because it's like 80 on the highway, and then bam, you hit Bergen, and it's suddenly down to 50, and there's like a speeding camera really soon after, or a police officer or something like that. Anyhow, I'm going nice and slow. I think it's this. Yeah, it's got to be this upcoming tunnel. After we get through this, we will be in the Bergen city limits, and pretty much done with our video. I'm not going to take you guys on the drive all the way to France. Not just yet. Let's get one trip done at a time, huh? Okay, here we go. Yep, see, left on right hand side, Bergen. Here we are, and immediately there's the speed camera. Got to be careful with these ones. I guess you can hear the yawning. That's not me in real life. That's the character telling me we've got to have a little rest here. And rest we shall.
And then continue straight.
Are we going right? Yeah. Sometimes I get a little heavy on the brake. These pedals are not completely calibrated beautifully.
Go straight.
But they do the basic job.
Get ready to turn left.
Okay, we're going to turn left here. Getting to the fictitious
and then turn right.
GNT storage. If anybody knows what that means.
Turn right.
Go left or right? Okay. I don't really know the difference between left and right. Which is a problem when you're going to drive a truck or do most things in life. Anyhow, thank you so much for joining me on this trip from Oslo to Bergen. I'm going to pick up my freight. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I'll be making a few more videos like this, but as you can hear, my character is yawning. I am kind of tired in real life, and the character is kind of tired, so he's going to have to take a nap. But I do thank you so much for joining us. Take care, and see you next time.